Okay, watching last night's debate, I just have to get this off my chest, and then I'm going to open the phone lines, and we can all talk about this for the rest of the day here. But I've shared with you, there were several moments last night where I just went, wow! And one of them was when Mitt Romney called Barack Obama a boy. The other one was, watching the debate, I kept thinking to myself, I've seen this debate before. I mean, yeah, I know this is the first time Romney and Obama have ever debated each other, but in fact, it's one of the few times both men have even appeared on the same stage together. But I just knew I'd seen this debate before. It was making me crazy. And then it struck me about three-quarters of the way through the debate. Last night's debate was 1980 all over again. Now, a lot of you aren't old enough to remember that or have watched that. I did. This was Reagan versus Carter all over again. I have said many times that the only way Romney can win the election is to lie. The same was true of Ronald Reagan. As the Center for American Progress pointed out this morning, Mitt Romney told 27 lies and half-truths in the course of just the 38 minutes that he spoke during the debate. That's really staggering if you think about it. But, as just a major feat. But it's one that was easily pulled off because the moderator wasn't calling out any of the lies, and tragically, neither was the president. But Romney also, the president did try to call him out 3 times, actually, on his lie about his tax plan. But Romney just kept lying with a smile. Romney also pulled it off by using the Ronald Reagan strategy of saying whatever it takes to win, just so long as you say it sincerely and with a smile. I mean, listen to Reagan lying his way through the 1980 debate. First talking about a meeting he had with a young African-American about the minimum wage.
Now, the president spoke a moment ago about that I was against the minimum wage. I wish he could have been with me when I sat with a group of teenagers who were black and who were telling me about their unemployment problems, and that it was the minimum wage that had done away with the jobs that they once could get. And indeed, every time it has increased, you will find that there is an increase in minority unemployment among young people.
How certain and sincere he looked, just like Mitt Romney. But it was a flat-out lie. It was later debunked. They could never, Reagan couldn't identify that group of African-Americans he was meeting. It was just like his welfare queen thing. They didn't exist. The African-Americans who were talking about how the minimum wage was hurting them. But he said it sincerely. Just like he talked sincerely when he took credit for creating workplace safety legislation as governor of California.
We created an OSHA, an Occupational Safety and Health Agency for the protection of employees, before the federal government had one in place, and to this day, not one of its decisions or rulings has ever been challenged.
Not true again. OSHA was passed by Democrats in California over Ronald Reagan's objections. But remember, talk sincerely and people will believe it, which sets up this claim made by Reagan against the Department of Energy.
The Department of Energy has a multi-billion-dollar budget in excess of $10 billion. It hasn't produced a quart of oil or a lump of coal or anything else in the line of energy.
At that point, Jimmy Carter's mouth was probably hanging open. He wasn't on camera. But it's not just a straw man, it's a lie. The Department of Energy doesn't create energy. I mean, that's absurd, and Reagan knows it. The Department of Energy builds nuclear bombs. It's got a euphemistic name. Yes, it's got a $10 billion budget. It did back then, but it builds nuclear bombs. Oh, wait, okay. Reagan knew it was a great talking point, and he knew he had to be willing to say whatever it takes to win, as long as he could say it sincerely. And that's what the billionaires who basically propped up Reagan and said, hey, here's a guy. He's an actor. He knows how to deliver a line. And he looks pretty. He's a good-looking guy. Mitt Romney, too. Mitt Romney lied about his own tax plan. He lied about the president's Medicare reforms. He lied about his own Medicare plans. He lied about Wall Street's reforms. He lied about the president's green energy investments. He lied about the death panels. He lied about small businesses. He lied about the deficit. He lied about the National Federation of Independent Businesses. He lied about cuts to the military. But you know what? Romney talks sincerely, just like Reagan. And that's why today he's being declared the winner of the debate instead of being declared the loser by virtue of lies. But the similarities don't end there. Romney is running to govern just like Reagan. Listen to this montage of Romney and then Reagan. Or is it Reagan and then Romney? It's Reagan then Romney, Reagan then Romney. If their voices sound similar, Just notice this. Listen.
I think it has been evident in most of the answers that Mr. Carter has given tonight that he seeks the solution to anything as another opportunity for a federal government program.
What we're seeing right now is, in my view, a trickle-down government approach, which has government thinking it can do a better job than free people pursuing their dreams, and it's not working.
I am suggesting that there are literally thousands of unnecessary regulations that invade every facet of business and indeed very much of our personal lives that are unnecessary.
And what's happened with some of the legislation that's been passed during the president's term, you've seen regulation become excessive, and it's hurt the economy.
Free enterprise can do a better job of producing the things that people need than government can.
Free people and free enterprises trying to find ways to do things better are able to be more effective in bringing down the cost than the government will ever be.
And that last one is the one that convinced me. You know, when I heard that, I said, okay, they studied the Reagan-Carter debate. In fact, there was a headline. I shared this story with you on, I think it was either Monday or Tuesday of this week. It was called the October surprise is to Jimmy Carterize Barack Obama. This was before the Obama talking to a bunch of African-American preachers tape came out. And that they were going to try and Jimmy Carterize him. And everybody assumed that what that meant. I mean, the word had leaked out of the Romney camp that they were going to turn Obama into Jimmy Carter. Everybody assumed that they meant that they were going to do it with foreign policy, like Iran, you know, the hostages. Same thing with the 4 people who died in Libya. No, I don't think so. I think what they meant was we're going to go into the debates and we're going to do the same thing Reagan did to Jimmy Carter. Lie. I hope the president's people saw what I saw in that debate last night. I hope Jimmy Carter's fate is haunting them, because if the next few debates go the way this one went, then President Obama will be the next Jimmy Carter, a one-term president taken down by a serial liar funded by billionaires. And Mitt Romney is going to start, from the White House, start taking apart the New Deal and putting in new Supreme Court justices.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
And that, my friends, could be the last nail in the coffin of the American middle dream, the American middle class and the American dream.